Let's start off with our first past paper question. This is from October November paper 1 to 2022, and this is the question number 2 of that of that paper. And this might look kind of intimidating, but it is actually pretty easy. You just need to be proficient in knowing how to factorize equations and knowing how to deal with the equations. So first we have to find a quadratic equation whose roots are 1 over alpha square, 1 over beta square, 1 over gamma squared, and 1 over delta squared, and get the values of the addition of those. All right. So first of all, let's solve part A. Part A is going to be a substitution, because the roots of original equation are alpha, beta, gamma, and delta. We have to modify those to become 1 over alpha squared, 1 over beta squared, and so on. So this would just be, you can do x is equal to, x is our original root, and the one we are going to modify, that is going to become 1 over w squared. You can use any variable. I like to use w, so yeah, that is kind of that. So this would just become w is equal to 1 over x, that's whole square rooted. So continuing with this, we can substitute that into the original equation. That would become square root 1 over w, and that would be power 4, plus 3, same thing again. That's going to be 1 over w whole squared, then plus 2 bracket square root 1 over w, and then the last is going to be plus 6, which is equal to 0. So let's solve this. 1 over w square rooted and power 4, that is just going to be 1 over w squared. I really hope you all know how to solve that in like mental maths. So yeah, 1 over w squared. Then the next one is going to be the square root and the square are going to cancel out. So this is going to be 3 over w. The next is 2 um, 1 over w square rooted. So we can take that to the other side so we can get rid of the square root. We can just keep plus 6 here, that's fine. So we can take it to the other side, and this is just going to be this, and then 2 1 over w square rooted and this. So we can square both sides of the equation to get rid of the square roots, because we need a simple without square roots equation. So yes, let me be back while I expand this, because I want to keep the video short. Okay, so I expanded the left side of the equation. That became that, and then the right side of the equation would be 4 over w. Now we can just make it into the form that we need in the quadratic equation form. So first we can just do 1 over w4 plus 6 over w cubed plus 21 over w. Then 36 over w minus 4 is 32 over w, plus 32 over w, and then plus 36. That is equals to 0. Let me scroll down a bit. Okay, and now we can just take the common denominator, which would be w power 4. the lowest common denominator, and then we can make it into the equation. Let me just quickly do that. So this would just become 1 plus 6w plus 21w squared plus 32w cubed, then plus 36w powered 4, which is equal to 0. So this is our equation, which we found for part 1. You can just write it as the biggest power first, so it is easier to calculate the next parts, and you won't get confused while doing that because you have to have it in order. So this is going to be plus 21w squared, then plus 6w, and then plus 1, which will be equals to 0. That is part 1. Let me bring the part 2 down so we can continue with that. Okay, so almost forgot we had to find the, let me just write it down so it's easier. We have to also find 1 over alpha squared plus 1 over beta squared plus 1 over gamma squared plus 1 over delta squared. We can find this. Okay, now you may see that 1 over alpha, 1 over alpha squared, 1 over beta squared, 1 over gamma squared, and 1 over delta squared are just the roots of for this equation, the one we just found. So technically this is just the sum of the roots of the equation. So that would just be 32 minus 32. No, wait, let me just write the formula first so it's easy. Sum of roots, which would be is equal to minus b over a. So in our new equation, this is b and this is a. So let us write it as minus 32 over 36, which just becomes minus 8 over 9. This is the sum of roots of the equation, the one we just found. So part B is find the value. Let me just scroll down. Find the value of this expression. So let us do that. Okay, for this seems kind of difficult, but it is pretty easy. You just have to know how to factorize the equations and stuff. So we can do this by taking the sum of like the sum. Just write that down. 1 over alpha squared plus 1 over beta squared plus 1 over gamma squared and then plus 1 over delta squared. So if we take the common denominator for all of these, that would just become alpha squared, beta squared, and then gamma squared. Yes, gamma squared. We do not have a delta. My bad. Let me just get rid of that. So we get this on the denominator, and then we can just figure out the numerators, which would just become, we do have a delta, my bad. Oh yeah, it's a 4-degree polynomial, my bad, we do have a delta. Let's write that back again. It's going to be 1 over delta squared as well. So we can write delta down here as well. So this is just going to become, the first one had an alpha, so we are going to skip that and just write beta squared, gamma squared, and delta squared. And then the next one is going to be, I'm not going to extend the line, that is going to be a very long process. The whole upper thing is just the numerator of the equation we're solving. So the next one is going to be alpha squared, skipping beta squared because that is the denominator, and then gamma squared, delta squared. Then again add alpha squared, beta squared, skipping gamma, and then delta squared, and then plus. Then alpha squared, beta squared, and gamma squared. Skipping delta squared again because that was the denominator and we won't write that in the last one. So the numerator becomes the same expression as the one in the question. And the denominator, that is pretty easy to figure out. I'll tell you how to do that in just a second. Let's write that down. So the denominator would just be this is alpha squared, beta squared, gamma squared, and delta squared. So this can just be written as alpha, beta, gamma, and delta whole squared. So to find out the product of the roots of alpha, beta, gamma, and delta, we won't be using the new equation we found. We'll be using the original equation because that was the one that had the roots alpha, beta, gamma, and delta. So that would just be minus b plus c. Okay, that would be minus. This is square, not a cube. So that was okay, 0. This is going to be C, D, and E. So this is going to be minus, plus, minus, plus. This is going to be 6. 6 over 1 because A is 1. So the product of the roots is going to be 6. We can write that down. It is going to be 6 squared, which is 36. I know you might not have gotten how I figured out it was 6. I'll explain that in just a second again so you get how I calculated that. So this is going to be 36 and then we can just write it down as the whole above equation, the one which was in the question. Let's just give it a value or something. Let's just write it as equal to, I'm writing it here. So as equal to, we can give it the value m just as a placeholder because it's pretty long to write the whole thing. So we can do m over 36 and then equals to the sum of this thing. This is equals to this. We just took the common denominator and then the numerator just multiplied itself. So this thing we calculated in the previous part, that was minus 8 over 9. So we can put this thing equals to minus 8 over 9. So the m just becomes minus 8 multiplied by 36 over 9, which becomes minus 8 into 4, which is just equals to minus 32. Minus 32. So this means that this whole equation expression in this uh, question just becomes 30. Wait, it becomes minus 32. That was it. Let me just bring question part 3 down so we can solve that as well. Okay, so let's continue the last part before I tell you how I got the 6 in the previous part of this question. Uh, this one, the 6, how I got this. So first let's do this last part. It is pretty easy. So 1 over alpha power 4, 1 over beta power 4, 1 over gamma power 4, and 1 over delta power 4. That can we can write that as illustrated. The identity I told you to learn, that is going to be 1 over alpha squared plus 1 over beta squared plus 1 over gamma squared. We will fix that. Plus 1 over delta squared whole square, which would equal to 1 over alpha power 4 plus 1 over beta power 4 Okay. So 1 over gamma power 4 not squared power 4. Then last one, fix them. 1 over uh, delta power 4. Fix them. A second. Delta power 4. Okay, that is how you're going to do that, and then plus 2, and then the sum of the pairs of groups. Sorry, not alpha beta. This was going to be 1 over alpha squared, 1 over beta squared. These are the pair of roots for the equation we found in part A. So now what we can do is 1 over alpha squared, 1 over beta squared. We found that in the first part, in part A, here, which is going to be minus 8 over 9. So we can just put that inside, which would become minus 8 over 9 whole squared. We'll fix that. Whole squared equals to, then the whole thing. Let's just give it a variable because that is going to be really long to write again and again. So let's just give it n. Let's call it n. So n plus 2, and then the sum of roots would be, sum of the pairs of roots would be in our new equation. This is the new equation. Sum of pairs of roots is c over a. So this is going to be our c. 21, 21 over 36. So we're going to write 21 over 36 in the question we're solving. 21 over 36. And then we can just solve it quickly. This is going to be 64 over, this is going to be 81. Then minus, which would be 21 over 18 equals to n. And then n equals to, let me just calculate it and check. Let's just do it manually. I'll have my calculator next time. So we can do this as 81 because that is the highest denominator. 9. Wait, is 81? For a quick calculation, I should really bring my calculator. Give me just a second. Okay, so with the calculator, this is 64 over 81 minus 21 over 18, which would be minus 61 over 162. 61 over 162, but negative. And this is our value of n. The n was 1 over alpha power 4, 1 over beta power 4, 1 over gamma power 4, and 1 over delta power 4. And to tell you how I got the sixth value in this question, this one, this was the product of roots of the original equation. Let's go back to original equation. This was the original equation. Let me show it to you. So if we see that this is A, we can just write that clearly. So this is uh, A. So there is no B. There is no B because the x cubed term is omitted. That means B is equal to 0. So we can just write that on the side. B equals to 0. Then this is going to be C, this is going to be D, and this is going to be E. So the sum, not the sum, the formula to find the product of roots is E over A. E over A, B should be minus, plus, minus, plus. Okay, yeah, E over A. So I was using the trick I taught you in one of the previous videos to learn the Vieta's formulas. So this is going to be E over A. That means 6 over 1, which is equal to 6. So 6 squared was 36. I hope you got how to do this question. See you all in the next video.